So where do you think Jordan is?
In hell? I don't know.
You went dark with that one.
Fighting Mephisto?
Was it because he ruined Superman? Now who's out? Now who needs more sleep? Is it because he ruined Spider-Man?
Probably. Yes, that's what I would do.
Fight Mephisto?
Yeah.
Then you should fight. He did ruin Spider-Man. Or you should yell at Marvel because they ruined Spider-Man. It's getting better, though.
Definitely better.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out this week.
It does?
Yeah. Like, we're getting 2 this month.
No way.
So does Invincible Iron Man.
Son of a bitch. Every time I think I'm out, they rope me back in.
They pull me back in. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we're only trying to save up money.
I'm trying to save money.
Yeah, so that means we need to buy more things, right?
I want my mummy, Mr. Squidward.
We need to be more like Mr. Krabs and just hoard all of it.
Me money.
I think we have like a coin drive and don't tell them that it's for us. They just assume it's for orphans.
You mean like your college fund at the A1?
Yes, I thought that was a legitimate thing. I put out a tip jar. I wrote down college fund on it. And every time they came into the liquor store, you know, they'd give me their change or their tips. We had no rules there. It's a privately owned company. I can accept tips.
It was a pretty solid plan.
It was until no one contributed to it.
In theory, it was amazing. In practice, it failed.
Yeah, I made way more tips, you know, working the streets.
Working at the car wash.
I was thinking more like the song from Bob's Burgers. Pulling down the skirt of the night.
I recently just finished that show.
Pull it down, feel around.
Like, are they going to have more seasons?
Yeah, it signed up for 2 more seasons.
Good, because I was like, wait, this is the end?
Yeah, so I think there's going to be at least 6-7 seasons of Bob's Burgers.
I'm excited.
They're starting to do like the Supernatural renewal, or it's like, we just renewed it for 10 more years. 2 seasons a year. Supernatural's renewed up to like season like 14.
Yeah. That's a train that could crash any time, and I would laugh.
It's already crashing. I don't know what you're talking about. That show is up and down. It is what it is the thing. I've enjoyed it all the way through. It's not top quality, TV. It's not Breaking Bad or something.
No.
It's dudes rolling around in a badass car killing supernatural things.
It's silly, but
with no rhyme or reason.
But I would never binge watch all 10 seasons in one go.
My favorite thing about Supernatural, everyone always talks about how they constantly die and come back to life, but that's not my favorite. My favorite thing is that there's always something older to pull them out of their situation. So, like, someone gets possessed, they find a spell, you know what I mean, that can unpossess people. Cool. 2 years later, like, this thing can't be unpossessed. They find an older spell that can unpossess people. Exorcise them, if you will. Okay, now we're fighting something that's older than we've ever fought before. That's okay. I found this even ancienter tomb with a scroll in it that we can read, and that'll get rid of it. Okay, we just need goat's blood and a different variation of wood, and it'll kill this thing. Every week, they just find something older and more ancient.
Well, do you think they're going to kill it with some new agey gemstone crap?
All I'm saying is they always think that they've reached the bottom of the pit, and they find... Pretty soon they're going to find, like on something that was made before the cosmos, Death itself's going to be there and be like, yeah, look, it was here when I got here. But if you read it and then stab them with this goat's blood, then we can defeat them.
Sounds very logical.
Wake up, Dave. I need your energy. The people don't listen to this podcast to hear you. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, it does. Solid.
Put the mask on.
No.
No one cared about you until you put on the mask.
I never wore a mask.
Now people will care about you.
I can't wear the mask over my glasses.
Well, you don't need to see anything. This is an audio podcast. Yeah. For those of you at home, he's now wearing my Red Hood mask.
I feel red. This feels right.
Yes, brother.
I peed in it.
Does it feel good? Let me hear how it sounds. Go ahead. Give me a sentence.
Am I in the mic?
Yeah, it sounds good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it sounds better than ever,
Can you
actually.
hear me now?
Yeah, actually, I think the muffleness of your voice really drowns out how dumb you are.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect counteraction.
Nice.
So you're just gonna wear that all the time now?
I mean, why the fuck?
It does
not?
actually look pretty intimidating now that I see you wear it. Our diminutive stature aside, the mask looks very intimidating.
So just my head looks ominous.
Yes, exactly.
The rest of me is just like,
It looks very large compared to your small body, but I think it works.
I like it.
So we're going to jump right in. If you haven't listened before, this is the Cave Trolls podcast. Every week we talk about whatever the hell we want to because that's what we do. It's usually somewhere on the nerdy side, but, sometimes people listen, sometimes they don't. Either way, we're going to keep talking. So this week we want to talk about the new Star Wars trailer because if you haven't seen it, we don't want to be friends with you.
No.
If your friends don't dance, then I'm no friends of theirs.
I'm not dancing.
Definitely. Well,
Well,
we'll
I
talk
will
about
dance
it later.
when I see Star Wars.
Okay, all right. What about the trailer? Didn't it make you dance?
Oh, it did.
Definitely made me cry.
In the pants.
I don't know why it made me cry. It wasn't super emotional.
I'd say it was.
You'd say it was?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple shots of Han Solo holding Leia, which looked ominous.
I mean, like Chewbacca sitting there, right next to Han.
Yeah. I'm going to take the mask off.
No.
I can't talk to you with this on.
Mine.
It'll be very painful.
Take it
for
from
you.
my corpse.
Take the mask off, Dave. Worried you're going to turn into it like Goosebumps.
I feel like that'd be an improvement.
If you turn into the Red Hood?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Clean up the streets with blood.
We'd have wittier banter.
Low blow, sir.
But yeah, I guess seeing Chewbacca sitting there, but it wasn't sad is what I mean. It wasn't anything that would have made me cry because it was like, oh, this is moving. It was like
that one guy was getting tortured.
Poe Dameron. It looked like
Yeah.
he was being tortured by Kylo Ren.
Or maybe he's being coerced. Maybe he's dark side all the time.
Maybe Kylo Ren was just really trying hard, and like at the end of that scene, you find out he's the comedic character and he just farts. like he's actually this generation's Jar Jar Binks.
Like Kylo Ren couldn't actually do the Force ever.
He just makes it look kind of like how like in the Robot Chicken, how they make people think Vader has Force choke powers.
It just makes him feel better.
Yeah, just grab your neck and go, and then as soon as you die, we're gonna give you this mustache, and you're gonna come right back on board.
Well, yeah.
And that's what they're gonna do to Kylo Ren. He's just gonna be sitting there making hand gestures, Poe Dameron's face, and Poe's gonna be like, "The fuck is this? This constitutes as cruel and unusual, is what this is."
And then the Imperial officer over there is going to be like, "Hey, you might want to like start gagging a little bit."
But I mean, other than what, I mean, that was a really sweet trailer. A lot of people on the internet were talking about how it wasn't as good as the other teasers, and I call bullshit because this was awesome.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck the teasers. This is honest to God trailer.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a good trailer. It didn't show too much.
Yeah, no,
it didn't give me the
not at
story. It gave me what I was worried about, and it showed all the characters interacting with each other.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to be, 5 hours into it, okay, now for some reason we're shoehorned in together to do this mission.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be like no Two Towers.
No, it looked like, hey, fuck you. 2 Towers is the best Lord of the
I
Rings
love
movie.
Two Towers, but I mean, like, as far as the characters go, they're all separated doing their own thing.
True, but they all know each other when they come back into that battle.
True.
What I'm saying is movies that for no reason, just because the movie is about those characters, at the end they're together.
Yeah.
No one questions it. It just happens. Lord of the Rings, they came together to battle. Damn it.
Oh, I know.
You talk shit about 2 Towers.
I wasn't talking shit about it.
I will fight you. I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, to be honest, but I really like 2
I know.
Towers.
This is weird. Why are you on that side?
Well, sometimes devil's advocate. Or in this case, angel's advocate, because everybody in this world loves Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't love it. I just don't think it's as amazing as everyone thinks. That's a topic for another podcast. I could go on for hours. Those hobbits wouldn't have survived off that little bread. That's
Well, no,
bullshit.
we all know that. They'd starve to death.
Call shenanigans. They eat too much.
Even with all that hobbit fat.
Gollum would have definitely put a finger in while they were sleeping as well.
Oh, let's not go there.
I'm just saying.
Gollum did. We don't need to.
When you're when you're in a cave that long, you get into certain things. Not speaking from experience.
The wrong cave.
If you've read my fan fiction, you understand what I'm talking about.
Okay, so back on topic. Star Wars.
Erotic fan fiction. Today.
We talk about that time the Gungans met the Ewoks.
Yeah, and it was glorious. I don't think the Gungans would ever meet the Ewoks because CGI next to the puppetry, the 2 different Lucas arts.
But they're digitally remastered. They blink now.
Jesus Christ, they blink now. I forgot. They'd look perfect right next to Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, of course they would.
I think under the mask, it's secretly Kylo Ren is Jar Jar Binks.
Speaking of Under the Mask with Kylo Ren, there's some pretty big theories, aren't there?
Yeah, right now a lot of people are speculating that maybe it's just a double twist and it's actually Luke underneath the mask.
Oh, you see, I don't buy that.
You know why that?
See, what I thought earlier today actually was that maybe Kylo Ren is somehow related to Luke.
That's been a theory since the day one. Man, okay, Dave, I always pick on you for being behind, but this time you are honest to God streets behind. That's been a rumor since before they even showed Kylo Ren.
Well, excuse me for not reading.
Just get on Twitter. Just get on Twitter. Fuck Facebook. All you see is your aunt's status updates about her cat and some people that you dated when you were in high school. There's no reason to troll Facebook the way you do. Unless you're trolling Facebook video, which you don't. There's no reason. Unless you're like me and everything you tweet goes onto Facebook, so all of your friends who are not smart enough to leave Facebook still see the updates.
Anyway.
Get your shit together, Dave. Or I'll get it together for you.
Anyway.
All right, Grandma. I'll put you to sleep.
It's called Beating the Elderly.
We don't play that game anymore. I don't think Luke is Kylo Ren, but I don't think it's so crazy to think that maybe he's not evil. I feel like that'd be a good twist. J.J. Abrams not above that. He's not above lying to us either, as we saw with the whole Khan thing from Star Trek. So who knows with that? They haven't showed him in any of the trailers, which is why everyone is led to believe that his appearance may be too spoilery.
Well, didn't they show him like under a robe?
No, that was a leaked picture from the set.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they haven't showed him in any of the trailers. That we know of, unless he's in a different costume. Like, there's the scene where someone is sitting next to a bonfire with R2, but someone could easily own R2 now, somebody else.
Yeah.
And also, there's reason to believe that that was Captain Phasma, because the gloves match.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know, because in Star Wars, there's so many gloves, you know.
Yeah. It's like a Disney movie. Oh, wait.
Yeah, except that these are the same gloves. You know what I mean? There's so many different gloves in the galaxy. What are the chances that somebody would be wearing the same gloves?
Well, I mean, it was made special for that one person.
Exactly. That's how all gloves work.
Yeah, it's space gloves. 101.
Exactly. So I'm pretty sure that it's not Luke in that scene.
Well, no.
But I don't think he's Kylo Ren. And I worry if they make him evil, it'll bring up too many bad memories of Dark Empire. Did you ever read that one?
I don't read, Terry. We've been over this.
Dark Empire was part of the extended universe, and it was about Luke becoming Palpatine, the recently resurrected Palpatine's new apprentice. It lasted all of 3 days, but it happened. He definitely crossed over. Became evil, and he was like, no, and pushed him off a cliff, or I could be confusing that with Return of the Jedi. I don't know.
I mean, potato.
I don't particularly care for either one of those stories. I like Return of the Jedi for what it is, wrapping up of the trilogy.
They had to finish it somehow.
And I don't just like Empire Strikes Back because I'm a hipster and you gotta love, the second one in the series. I just think it's a more fun movie.
Definitely. I mean, it's solid plot line.
Look, Dave, I'm not here to have a yes man.
Hey.
You can have your own opinions on things, but they can't match up with mine.
Fuck you. Empire's great.
Also, the Ewoks, I think they're cute, and it was neat to see other life on different planets.
See, I like the Ewoks less, mostly because I'm just upset that their spears and rocks could beat the Empire.
That's what I was exactly going to say. I'm like, bullshit. And only one died?
Right?
Only one Ewok died? Shenanigans.
Then they sing in the trees.
His body up.
Except they changed the fucking song in the digital remaster.
They changed the song?
Yeah, completely different song.
It's been that long since I've seen Return of the Jedi?
Yeah.
What do they change it to? Do they not do the yub-dubs? Is it completely different?
It's a different beat. A different
Weird.
melody. It's fucking different.
That is really weird. It was weird enough when they made him blink. I have seen that stuff. That was a little weird. I never noticed the song, though. Maybe it's because I just didn't care. Because once that battle starts, I'm kind of over it.
Well, see, that whole end segment made me so mad because, first off, Ewok song different. I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit angry about this, but I can live. Then Christian Haydenson just sort of comes in out of nowhere.
Force Ghost, man.
And I'm like, hey, where's Vader? Who the hell's this?
See, ghosts do have special powers over digital recordings, as you've seen with EVP. So the Force Ghost has changed over the years.
See, I did not account for that. It made complete sense.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Bullshit.
Actually, speaking of Half-Life 3, really bad segue, but they were recently talking about some code found in some Steam tools for different Valve games, and they found a couple of lines of code that may hint that they are working on Half-Life 3.
I mean, if they are, cool.
Right. I mean, I don't care. I didn't really care for Half-Life as much as everybody else has, but...
Never played Half-Life 1, tried to play Half-Life 2, and I was like, this is something.
Yeah, it's something. I like Deus Ex a little bit more. I thought that system was better utilized with Deus Ex.
I like the idea of the gravity gun in Half-Life 2. Never got to that part because I didn't care for the game.
But it is exciting for a lot of people because a lot of people Half-Life 2 is their favorite game. And Valve, has specifically not done Half-Life 3.
Like, it's amazing how much stuff I watched on things like G4, like X-Play and Cheat.
Way back in the day?
Yeah, how many segments about
Half-Life 2?
About Half-Life 2 that I watched
because
it was cared about the game.
Well, yeah, but we also were a little bit generation late. We didn't get computers till we got a little bit older, so
yeah,
it's not, you are definitely in the minority on that, but people definitely love the game. And Half-Life 3, people want it. Whether it's going to be good or not, I doubt it. After this long, it's probably just too much of expectations. If Valve really wanted to put it out, they would have did it already. And that's the thing. They have worked on iterations of it. There's proof everywhere that they've tried to do it. And that's probably where this code came from. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're still working on it. It means that it was used on a code somewhere, maybe in some sort of beta, or it wouldn't mean beta. It'd be pre-alpha stages of some test game that might be Half-Life 3.
Remnants of a bygone era.
Exactly. In a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it doesn't really mean anything, but it's still exciting to see. Those people who want that sliver of hope, it's right there. You
think we're going to see Tusken Raiders in the new Star Wars?
Are we going back to Tatooine?
I don't know. Do they have to be on Tatooine? Are you racist?
No, but isn't that where the Tusken Raiders are from?
That's where they're from. They could be going other places.
Look, okay, dude, if they're riding their equivalent of camels still, and on a planet that has very advanced speeders, they have pod racing, and they haven't done anything else with technology. I doubt they're nailing intergalactic space travel.
Space camels.
Have they shown any sort of... I haven't read all of the expanded universe. Did they ever show any sort of intergalactic beings that could survive out in space?
Not
like Dune style, you know what I mean?
Not to my knowledge.
They have the worms that are on the asteroids. They've shown those, but anything else? Like space whales.
What comes to mind? Actually, that's similar to what I was thinking. More like space manta rays.
Oh, interesting.
In the Clone Wars, there was an early story arc called the Malevolence.
Oh, okay.
And they had to fly these bombers through this nebula thing. And there was some big old space creature coming after him.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Because lots of things do that. Dune did that. And all right.
Treasure Planet. They had that.
Treasure Planet had that. Fucking Treasure Planet. Love that movie.
The movie's so good.
Very underrated Disney film. I think we've mentioned that on the podcast before.
It's worth it.
Oh, definitely.
Same thing with Atlantis.
Still on the Star Wars subject. We talked about the Battlefront beta last week.
So good.
It was really fun. The one problem we had with it that we didn't mention actually, and I want to talk about it a little bit, is that the Rebel Alliance was definitely underpowered in the big walker battle.
Yeah,
and some inaccuracies, just some of the vehicles that were there.
As far as the movies go, historically accurate, but
not really. You had Return of the Jedi Luke. You had A-Wings, which weren't on Hoth.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The balance wise.
Oh, balance wise. I see what you're saying. How the Rebels did lose, so
they lost their ass.
And also, the Walkers did not have shields, so shenanigans. The whole thing was that they couldn't shoot through their normal hull. There were no shields.
The armor's too thick.
But
Blasters won't work.
But all canon aside, that was really fun. But the problem I did have with it was that the Rebels were definitely underpowered. It was very hard to win as them, unless some people pointed out on the internet, because the reason why I bring it up is the developers actually, DICE, were talking about how they did notice that. They're going to take that into consideration and try to fix that for those battles when the new game does come out. Something people talked about is that you can take down the walkers pretty easily if you're dive bombing, so actually suicide bombing with the vehicles, and also utilizing the turrets a little bit better.
Yeah, I noticed that really quickly. Soon as ion bomb from the Y-Wings hit it, there were X-Wings coming out of the friggin' woodwork just smashing into it.
And it worked. That's how we won. Also, like I said, the turrets on the ground do a lot of damage. However, they're hard to hold.
Yeah,
you're very vulnerable in that.
And the only way I was ever able to do any big damage to an AT-AT was with one of the power-ups you can pick up.
Which one? The Ion Blaster one?
It was the vehicle turret.
Oh, the vehicle turret. Yeah, the vehicle turret was solid. And the other turrets on the ground worked as well. It's just, again, they're hard to hold, so they're hard to use, and they're hard to utilize at the right time. The timing is key with the Rebels, whereas with the Empire, just kind of wait out the clock.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit unfair there.
You just push the Rebels away, and you're like, no, go away. We're doing stuff.
Yeah, go ahead. Go sit down.
Especially when you get the power up of, I can control the AT-AT's guns. Have a good day.
No, see, a lot of people were talking about how that was overpowered, but when I drove it in subsequent battles, when other people drove it, I didn't see all that many kills come from it. I definitely got kills when I was in it, and you are invulnerable, essentially. Yeah. But if you scatter, it's hard to hit. It's when you're camping out, when that blast is coming out, you're not going to survive.
It was very reminiscent of, what came to mind for me was when one of the kill streaks in like Call of Duty.
Which one?
The gunship one where you're flying around, you shoot.
Oh, from like Modern Warfare 2. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, because if you hide well or if you run fast enough, you're not going to get hit by it. And that is kind of the point where they're slow moving and you can only pivot, so it's not overpowered. A lot of people thought it was. I think it's just all about knowing how to react to it.
I mean, you couldn't control where it went, so you couldn't chase after them.
Exactly. So it's just about pivoting and trying to exit that area, which can be difficult. And the other problem I had was the spawning points.
Yeah.
So much spawn killing.
Yeah, that was some garbage. And also, like I think I mentioned it last time, like my problem with it was the power-ups. Where the hell do you find them?
Oh, I saw them all the time. You just got to pay attention to them. They dropped like these chips. It basically looked like a coin circulating on the floor.
Yeah, I saw that, but I mean, like they just were never there.
Yeah, see that I think it was just you not noticing them, because a lot of people like had issue with it if you weren't looking for them, because they're clear and blue, so they blend in very well on Hoth.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, because they were prevalent.
Oh, actually, I couldn't see that.
Yeah, I saw them all the time, but I was looking for them at the same time, and I caught them very quickly that they were going to be hard to catch. Because I mean, the people that I played with consistently, I mean, you couldn't really link up, so it was just randoms, But I saw people popping up with power-ups all the time. Turrets, heroes, vehicles. Seemed consistent. And maybe you're just the wrong place at the wrong time, too.
Yeah, I mean, Hoth is a big planet.
Right.
Big ball ice.
Right. And, you're not a huge competitive gamer, so, like, you might have seen people rushing towards something. You didn't automatically go, hey, I need to go over there to get it before them. You're probably like, look, those guys are running over there.
Yep. Hey, they're getting that thing. I'm not going to get
it. Segueing a little bit away from Battlefront, I wanted to talk about some rumors about the new Power Rangers movie, because I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, I cannot wait, dude. I've been watching... In space, a lot.
I was watching Alien Rangers yesterday because it popped up on my Netflix. It was like, "Hey, watch Alien Rangers."
That's one that I actually have not watched a whole lot of.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a short one. It's only a few episodes. I think there's only 8 or 9 episodes, surprisingly. But it's just the guys from Aquatar.
Yeah, the weird brain heads.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's Power Rangers is all silly fun, anyways.
It's all silly fun.
But the thing that's going on right now is they did finally cast Kimberly for the new movie. They announced that, which confirmed the rumors that it was going to be a reboot of such, to a certain point about the original Rangers, like Kimberly, Jason, those guys, Trini.
The ones that are mighty when they morph?
Exactly. The ones that are mighty when they morph. And with the new one, we all thought it was going to be that, and then they confirmed with Kimberly. So you thought for sure, okay, that's what it's going to be, recasting these guys. And then they announced, well, they didn't announce, actually, this is rumor, that it's going to be time traveling of sorts, with the guys from Dino Charge showing up in the opening. Dino Charge is the newest Power Rangers that are out right now. In the opening, fighting off Scorpina, who is trying to access the power grid, which gives all the morphing grid. It gives the Power Rangers their power across all of millennia. So past, future, present, all get their power from the power grid. So if it's invaded at any time in time or space, it can affect them. So essentially, it's going to be a time traveling romp.
See, that feels like a very big weakness for the morphing grid.
Yeah, right. It can be attacked at any point in the future or in the past.
Say, if you feel like it at any time, come on and get it.
That's the problem with time travel stories. But it still sounds fun, and it'll let them reintroduce these characters while also having Jason David Frank show up as the Green Ranger in some capacity.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of neat to have, and just a shoehorn in is the wrong word.
And I'm also just really excited that they're connecting it to the universe.
Yes, so it's not just going to be like a separate thing, kind of like how the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie was. It wasn't connected at all. So
they
had to rehash a version of that story on the show, which was fun.
Season 3?
Yeah, the ninja story was pretty neat.
Yeah, it was neat, but I gotta admit, I still just loved Season 2.
But Ninjor,
I didn't like his voice.
Yeah, you're dumb. He was awesome.
He was awesome.
Power Rangers, I will protect you. That's a pretty generic voice, but that's what he was. He was fun. Power Rangers is fun. I don't care what anybody says. You can knock the effects, the acting. Fuck you is fun. And also with Power Rangers, I was watching Beetleborgs as well. Still holds up. Still fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean that's better because the kids actually get powers.
Exactly. Yeah, it is kind of weird how they just randomly get superpowers.
Well, I mean they go into this like abandoned mansion. They find a ghost. They're like, hey, we want to be like comic
It's a
book.
ghost genie.
Yeah.
By the way, he not only is Flabber a ghost, but he also has genie-like powers.
Weirdest backstory for a superhero.
It was very strange, and it's still strange. It hasn't gotten less strange.
Yeah. I mean, like that's not a fine wine.
That's
a bad aftertaste.
If anything, Beetleborgs is more 90s than the Power Rangers.
Oh, definitely.
Just with comic books mixed with like kaijus that show up.
Not to mention like just the outfit of like the girl.
Just the backwards hat and the baggy shorts.
Or like overalls.
Hey, people still wear overalls, right?
Yeah, but they don't pull it off as well.
It doesn't fit the era as well. It doesn't quite match. But yeah, so I mean that was a little bit interesting to see what they're going to be doing with that. And other things they're bringing back. Gilmore Girls is coming back. Netflix is reviving it.
Yay? Question mark?
You don't like Gilmore Girls?
I mean, I didn't.
You are a heartless bastard,
I've
aren't
never
you?
seen a whole lot of it.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Gilmore Girls is pretty fun. Of all of the, I hate classifying it as a girl show because it's not. You know, anybody can watch any show they really want to. But it did come in the early 2000s, and it was centered around two girls, a mom and their daughter, and their fun relationship.
I did think their grandparents were hilarious.
Exactly, how they were kind of like they were yuppies.
Yeah,
and their daughter was kind of like the free spirit. Never wanted their money kind of thing. I thought that was kind of neat. It was a fun show. It's silly, fun, and it really captured the WB.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, kind of like how the Buffy did. And Netflix is bringing it back. I don't know how much. I don't know if they've announced how long it's going to be, but it's at least for a season. My sister is actually super excited about it. She has watched every episode of Gilmore Girls front and back. She texted me and she goes, "No, you're not serious, right? Like, this is a joke. They're not bringing back Gilmore Girls. No, it can't be. They can't be. This is all one text, by the way. They can't be bringing back Gilmore Girls. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Oh my God, are you sure? Oh my God, they're seriously bringing back Gilmore." It was like her going through all of the steps. And then I get a phone call going, "Oh my God, no way." Like, and then she redid the entire text that she sent me, just talking about how much she loves Gilmore Girls. Like, I didn't know. Like, the text before that wasn't enough to remind me of
like, how would you glean all that knowledge from that?
Exactly. And she owns them all on DVD. I think she bought one season that came out on Blu-ray. She owns them all on VHS because she taped them.
That's some devotion there.
Oh, my sister. If I was a girl, I would be my sister, if that makes sense. She is also addicted to stories. Like, she has every single R.L. Stine book that ever came out. So starting from the Fear Street saga all the way up through Goosebumps, she had every single one because she had to have, like, collection-wise. She's read every single Jane Austen book, like, 1,000 times, owns all Little House on the Prairie, several first editions. She pretends like she's not a nerd, but she's just a different kind of one.
Like, that is a strange creature,
right? Where like I can quote like everything from Star Wars or from Friends, let's say, you know, things like that. Or I've seen every episode of Fringe and X-Files, but she has seen every single episode of Gilmore Girls, front and back. Knows all of the actual actors' backstories, seen everything they've been in. So like whenever she picks on me about being a nerd, every time I bring up anything like that, and I'm like, look, just Gilmore Girls, like, you have a problem. So she's excited. We're going to be doing a podcast coming up soon called Right in the Feels. Look out for that. We're going to put a couple of those on this feed and then break it out on its own. It's going to be about pop culture repeating itself, things coming back into the zeitgeist, just shows returning. We're going to do one on Power Rangers since it's coming back, Gilmore Girls now that it is, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Digimon, Boy Meets World, Girl Meets World, all those things that you loved when you were a kid and how they're coming back, just the nostalgia of it. Look out for that. It's going to have a little bit of a higher quality to it since we're spending so much time on it. We have some music that we're trying to get in there, interviews with people that weren't on the show. I'm not going to pretend like there's going to be good interviews. They're going to be interviews from like our next door neighbor and what they thought. Like Rugrats is coming back. What do you think?
Hey, Jim, can you tell me what do you think about Lost?
Yeah, well, seriously, if they did a revival, do you think it would be in heaven or in hell?
Would they still be lost?
At the end, they were lost, but now they're found.
Praise Jesus.
Exactly. Spoilers for Lost, by the way. If you haven't seen it, that's how it ended. Was they were all dead the whole time. They just copied The Sixth Sense, essentially.
Wait, that was a show? It ended?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I mean, I was lost.
I get it.
I couldn't figure it out.
I get it. And we're going to move on from that horrible non sequitur and talk about... what do you want to talk about? Talking about Battlefront, Gilmore Girls. Is there anything really else happening other than Star Wars and Gilmore Girls? Does anything else really matter?
Oh, I mean, not really.
I had a little bit of a theory that I was talking about, and I wanted to bring it up to you. Do you know who Batroc the Leaper is?
Okay, let me think here. He was wasn't he in a recent Marvel movie?
He did have a cameo.
He was in
Winter Soldier.
I was gonna say it.
Along with Crossbones.
Crossbones?
Yeah, Crossbones. Crossbones was one of the guys that was part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and then Hydra, and then he was defeated and came back and he was all burnt at the end. That's Crossbones. He's going to come back with a suit with powers in Civil War.
Okay. Yeah, I can dig that.
But Batroc the Leaper had he was the guy wearing purple who kept jumping.
Yeah, the guy in the beginning on the boat.
Exactly, yeah. In the comic books, he's not super powered. He is just an assassin for hire.
And he can jump real good.
But he can jump real good. That's the joke that happens when Batroc the Leaper shows up.
Was he trained in the circus like Hawkeye?
I think so. Actually, there's a couple points that actually it's a moniker that had been passed down generation to generation, like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Dread Pirate Roberts.
The reason why I bring it up is either his father or his grandfather just showed up in, or maybe neither. Maybe it's just the person who held the title before Batroc came along.
Okay.
Showed up in Captain America White last week.
Oh,
yeah, it was really neat because they were these gypsies, and one of them was the Leaper. And I thought that was neat. The reason why I bring it up is I want to talk about these villains that are starting to get a lot bigger play in Marvel these days. Batroc the Leaper is one of them. He showed up in 2 comic books this week. And he never shows up. He's not a big character, but now he's been in the movies, and now they're bringing him back into the zeitgeist, if you will. I like that word.
I noticed you do use that quite a bit.
It's fun. It sounds cool. It makes me think of Ghostbusters because of Geist. It has nothing to do with it, but it's just fun.
Across the streams?
Yeah, exactly. Ghostbusters are also now back in the zeitgeist.
Oh.
So you did full circle there. But Batroc the Leaper has shown up several times, so I think he might make an appearance in one of the newer movies. And the other one I wanted to reference was Madame Mask.
I remember you talking about that earlier.
Yeah, have you seen her show up in anything yet other than the recent Iron Man book?
Not that I know of.
Honestly. No, she was a main villain in the Hawkeye run, Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run. She popped up several times.
Okay, I've been told by many people that are all named Terry that I should read that.
Yes, you should definitely read that, and all the other Terrys agree. 9 out of 10 Terrys agree that you should read Hawkeye.
What happened to the 10th one?
We killed him.
Oh, God.
He's
went to a dark
place.
He's
with the 10th dentist who doesn't have his shit together and won't endorse Colgate.
He just should have done it, man.
He should have done it.
They blackball you in the toothpaste game.
Yeah, I don't know why that was to go down to 9 out of 9 doctors.
Yeah. Why even talk about the 10th one?
Why even talk about the 10th dentist who isn't into it? Like, nah, you know what? I'm more of a pro-enamel guy. I don't really use Colgate.
See, I'm more of a close-up kind of guy. I really need that cinnamon burn.
Exactly. So I don't know. I don't know if they for sure are. It's just a theory, but I'm seeing a lot of these characters have play that they didn't have before. And since they are lesser-known characters, they could show up in the TV shows or in the movies. And I was just curious if you thought maybe you've noticed any characters like that.
Well, like, what I think of in particular is Deathlock, mainly because I had no idea what the hell that was.
Yeah, and now he's not only is he in S.H.I.E.L.D., but they're trying to get a little bit of play with him there. He's showing up in several other books.
And I mean, like, I hear the name Deathlock, I'm like, ooh, that sounds like a comic book thingy. So I go on the wiki, and I go down this whole tunnel of finding out new things.
There's like 9 Deathlocks. There's a Deathlock program. There's different parts. He's definitely going to show up somewhere. Recently, there's some rumors that they might be canceling Iron Fist.
What?
Yeah, that's a rumor that's going around.
Why?
Because Moon Knight is picking up some traction, and maybe they're going to do something with that property instead.
See, personally, because I know nothing about Moon Knight, I would so much rather have Iron Fist.
Yeah, Moon Knight is also a cool character. He's often called Marvel's version of Batman.
Oh, I've heard like things like that. You know, he's pretty edgy, isn't he?
He's definitely edgy. He doesn't kill that often. He does,
but he
sometimes.
maims a lot.
He maims terribly. The thing with him is he fits into Marvel's running joke of having characters with personality disorders.
A running joke?
Not necessarily a running joke, but a lot of characters do. All right, like the Hulk or Moon Knight. I know we were just talking about Moon Knight, but Hulk is a big one. The reason why he can't control his powers is because he has the personality disorder.
Right, yeah, we've mentioned this a couple
times.
Right,
like that's how the Grey Hulk was created, or Mr. Fix-It. was just because he couldn't control the powers.
The only reason why I know about Mr. Fix-It is because of the Hulk animated series.
Did they go into Mr. Fix-It on the Hulk animated series? That's interesting. I don't remember that one.
That's the only reason why I know about it. I don't remember what the hell happened in the episode. I just remember him in a suit and She-Hulk, and they were in Vegas.
They put it in Vegas, too? Because that's where he worked as a bouncer in Vegas as Mr. Fix-It. Yeah.
I had no idea.
He was a fixer.
He fixes things.
He fixes things. But the Moon Knight, his personality disorder is a little bit more textbook. He has several different identities that he assumed to be more vigilant, essentially, so he could be a big-time millionaire playboy and keep an eye on white-collared criminals and also have money to back him. Then he also became a cab driver to kind of see what's going on the street level, and those slowly separated into actual personalities.
Oh, damn.
So when he's Moon Knight, he's somebody else. When he's the cab driver, he's somebody else. So I can see them going, this could be a little bit more interesting. And also with the Defenders, they originally were a supernatural group, and he is a supernatural entity. His powers come with the cycle of the moon from an Egyptian god.
Do you think the Defenders will actually ever connect to Doctor Strange?
Definitely. I feel like it's almost a given, because especially if they don't ditch Iron Fist, which I hope they don't, because they've already seeded so much, and I don't think they do personally. I don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be part of it.
Yeah, I personally hope not, because I've really been wanting to get into Iron Fist.
Yeah, Iron Fist is really good. If you, in the meantime, if you want to check them out, read Matt Faction's run. I don't remember if it was the Immortal Iron Fist or Iron Fist: The Living Weapon. It's one of those two. Those are both really good series, though.
Are they doing an Iron Fist book for the new Marvel stuff?
They're doing Iron Fist Luke Cage book. They're reintroducing Heroes for Hire.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is where he kind of got us to start.
Yeah, I could probably check that out.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, Danny Rand is a really interesting character. He does fall under the category of another millionaire playboy.
Oh, shoot.
Because though his origin is in essentially a different dimension with different supernatural beings, and how he trained and how he got his powers to become the Iron Fist and know all these martial arts is part of the supernatural. But as soon as he comes to our world, he finds out he is an heir to a railroad company. And
really?
A big corporation. So
all right, man. Not only are you mystical and powerful and everything, but guess what? You're also rich.
Yeah, you're still Batman.
People find you pretty.
Yeah, we can't get away from the Batman thing.
So you're not losing.
Exactly. Definitely.
What's going on?
Definitely not losing. Plus, he's got the whole Zen Buddhism thing that chicks dig. So
yeah, he's all calm and shit.
Yeah, he's doing well for himself. But they've seeded several characters in the different shows. Like his lawyer showed up recently. It didn't show up necessarily because it's not out yet, but was spotted in Jessica Jones. They gender swapped him, and he's going to be a woman. He's played by Trinity from the Matrix.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which is pretty neat. So she's going to be an important character. You don't hire that actress to not show up again.
I feel like they should do that sometimes, though. Just hire important people
just to throw you off the scent.
Shitty.
That's a really expensive stunt.
Yeah,
I mean that's essentially a cameo, is the thing. But the problem is if you want that character to show up again at all.
True.
So it would be funny. That's a perfect red herring. I'll tell you that. But they hinted a little bit towards maybe some of the thugs that existed in Kingpin's group in Daredevil were actually from the Iron Fist worlds.
Huh.
Yeah, like the guys who were selling drugs, the sign that they put on, the blind people, the sign they
signed.
signed.
Oh, yeah,
is the sign of one of the other cities that fights Iron Fists.
Oh.
Yeah. So there are a couple hints there. There's a possibility, I guess. They could always cancel whatever they think is not going to work. They can do whatever they want. They're Marvel.
There was something that Jordan pointed out to me.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who fights Daredevil's dad, Creel.
Mm-hmm.
There's another guy, same name, in the beginning of season 2 of
S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, it's the same guy.
Same guy?
Yeah.
For sure?
Yeah, Creel. It's the guy who killed his dad, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't kill him. His dad got killed later on by thugs, but because he wouldn't take a dive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's supposed to be the same character. Now, I don't think they necessarily planned that when S.H.I.E.L.D. showed him, because he's Absorbing Man is his name. That's his power.
Okay.
But a couple of the showrunners for Daredevil brought that up because somebody asked the question, well, is it supposed to be the same guy or something? They're actually, he would have been young when he fought him, because that was the whole thing. Is Daredevil's dad was old, old bulldog fighting the young guy, so the time matches up, is what he's saying.
Nice.
Yeah, so it could have been Creel.
Like, that's been in the back of my mind for a while since I watched Daredevil.
Yep. So it most likely is supposed to be the same man.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was when you started to bring it up, I was like, are you talking about Absorbent Man? I always forget that you're not like 10,000 years deep into Marvel comics.
I always think I'm pretty deep, but then I'm like, hey, this is the kiddie pool.
Right. I almost bought you. They recently re-released the Clone Saga, except for it was the remastered version called the Real Clone Saga. What it is it's a little bit more concise telling. It's 6 issues of the main story, essentially. It kind of boils down most of the main points, and there's 3 sets of it. So, like 18 issues that basically gives you all the different points of view for the Clone Saga.
Nice.
And it definitely does a better job of telling the story. Some of the artwork is redone, too.
Now, why did you almost buy me this?
Because it's expensive, and you're a bitch, so...
And you're having a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Kids are expensive. Speaking of a kid, I got brought up that I have a dad beard now. I mean, I've always had a beard, different times in my life, different lengths. But I generally don't like to shave, and my wife likes my beard, so I just keep it. I think it's because she doesn't want to see my face.
I mean, that's totally an option. Right?
But it made me think, since being a dad and all this pop culture stuff is kind of, my niche.
It's almost like it's like important to you. Like
exactly.
You can't breathe without it.
Exactly. I have to watch all these stories. Somebody asked me when they were talking about my dad beard what I was going to do with showing my kid this stuff. Like, was I going to make him watch everything I watched when I was a kid, or am I just going to, go with the flow and see what they like? I think we're going to do a combination. I definitely have a hard drive or 2 with all of my shows that I liked when I was a kid. From, like, Spider-Man, the animated series, to Batman, to Power Rangers, Beetleborgs.
It'd make me really happy if you just, like, one day turned into, like, Leave It to Beaver dad. Like, suit and tie every day, read a newspaper.
Well, Beav, how was your day? They took your bicycle. What are you going to do about it, son? That kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, Timmy, grab my scotch and my cigarettes, and we're going to have a conversation. See, women are to be heard from and not seen. Oh, wait, I got that backwards. Yeah, so I don't think we're going to do that.
It would be funny.
It'd be funny. It's a long con. That's a long troll to do.
You don't have to do it every day.
And also, my wife would leave me.
She'd find some novelty to it.
Maybe at first, but as soon as I started saying sexist remarks like that, I think she'd kick me to the curb.
She'd know you're joking.
That's still not funny. Just because someone's joking doesn't make it okay. I mean, look at the guy who played Kramer and all of his bigoted remarks. He's like, no, it was supposed to be a joke. I'm like, that's still offensive.
Yeah, you got me there.
So I don't know if it'd necessarily be okay. I do want to buy my son a red bicycle and wear a tie and a fedora and a briefcase all the time. But I don't know if I can pull off the rest of it. Like, I can't be the guy from Mad Men. What's his name?
I actually haven't watched Mad Men.
You've never seen Mad Men?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my goodness.
And that is another show that should be on my list of things to watch.
You haven't seen anything. What do you do with your time?
Masturbate.
Oh, huh? It all makes sense now. I should have put 2 and 2 together.
You should have.
Or 1 and 1 together.
Well, it's just 1.
Yeah, exactly, because you're just by yourself. It's okay. You'll find somebody or something. Homeboy fucked a Martian once. When we reach to the skies and they reach back, you fuck it.
No, yeah. I mean, that would be the logical thing to do.
Right. I think you just haven't found it yet. You'll find the thing that you like, whether it be video games, movies, blow-up dolls, something that you're into.
Mind self to buy more Patch Kits.
So I don't. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to expose them to, movie-wise. Or game-wise, I'm not going to make them start with Atari or anything like that. I'm going to buy them those things as they want them.
You mean you're not going to give them the Crucible?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like, okay, if you want to play PlayStation, you have to play Atari, and then NES, and then Super NES, and then you have to play the Jaguar and the Lynx. They're terrible, but you have to understand where they're coming from. I'm not going to do that. I think sometimes it's fun to see where these games came from.
Well, son, you want a PS5 for your birthday? Here, have a Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I'm going to give them my Game Gear and say, deal with it. Oh, and I'm not buying you any more batteries.
Oh, that That hurt.
Those fuckers took 6 batteries, 6 AA's.
Ow.
It weighed more than a brick.
And then we had things like the Game Boy Micro.
Oh, fuck. Did you have a Game Boy Micro?
No.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't have one.
But I knew people who did, and I laughed at them.
I got a Game Boy Color a little bit late because my mom couldn't justify a $100 piece of machinery that fit in your pocket.
Neither could my parents.
Yeah, I mean, like, we were poor, of course.
We were kids. You're going to put it in your pocket, you're going to run around, you're going to fall down, you're going to break it.
Damn straight. I mean, they bought us a PlayStation when it first came out because that sat at home.
Yeah, you couldn't put it in your pocket.
Exactly. And you know what happened when I got a Game Boy Advance? I took it to school and it got stolen. Literally, the first day. But my Game Boy Color, I used to carry around, and I only had Pokemon on it. And I thought that I could outsmart my parents because they wouldn't assume I was always playing video games, which is a dumb assumption since all I did was play video games. So I would say, like, I need to use the restroom before I went to bed. And I'd take my Game Boy, and I'd just sit there and, like, oh, so now I just beat Pokemon. And my mom would come, like 15 minutes later and be like, shut the fucking Game Boy off, dumbass. You're like 8. We're going to outsmart you. That's how biology works.
Well, no, if you're 8, you're going to know more than your parents.
Of course. And that's
that pivotal age of 8 years old.
I really, my biggest fear isn't even what I'm going to show these kids. It's that I'm going to show them the wrong things at the wrong time and they're going to hate it. So, like, I show them Power Rangers at, like, the wrong day or the wrong time. They're just forever, like, burned on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm just going to be like, oh, I want it. Or they're going to grow up and they're only going to like sports. I like sports myself, but
that is my biggest fear.
But I'm definitely more, if you had to separate the two, which you don't have to, but I'm definitely more part of the nerd culture. I especially like college sports is really what I'm into, but I don't follow them day to day. I watch them when they're on. I love March Madness. That kind of thing is what I'm into. I don't follow a lot of professional sports because I think it's bullshit sometimes.
Yeah.
Cool guys, and they definitely deserve to be paid what they're paid. They do a dangerous job, and they're good at it, and we watch it. That's why they're paid that. But so many times, it's the same thing week after week. They're not trying as hard. And with video games and with fantasy, I can go to a realm. Why would I watch two guys try to dunk a basketball when I can read or experience a guy fighting a dragon? It's just sometimes that's where I fall into.
The dragon does sound more entertaining.
It does sometimes. It does. And
I mean, it's really hard to grasp why.
Right.
But
I just worry because I have this empire of pop culture. I have thousands of comic books. I have these podcasts and these websites, and I redo Nerf guns in my spare time. I LARP. I play D&D. If my kid's not into that stuff, it's fine. I'll still gonna love them, but I feel like I'll have a hard time connecting with them. Because, like, my dad was not much of a nerd. He was a really outdoorsy guy. Like, he taught me how to camp and how to survive in the wild and that kind of thing.
And, of course, how to kill a tree.
Of course, how to kill a tree with an axe. Yeah. Destroy a tree, I think, is what I said. I'm going to go destroy a tree.
No, it's kill a tree.
Kill a tree. You can go kill a tree now. But he did not understand the stuff I was into. He liked sci-fi. He loved Star Wars. He loved Star Trek. But as soon as Dragon showed up, he was kind of like, so it's like it's a dragon? So
see, here's the weird thing with my dad. Because, like, he introduced me to Star Wars. If he wanted a jock, he was not getting one.
But he doesn't like sci-fi.
No, he cannot stand sci-fi.
It doesn't make any sense. He knows that Star Wars is sci-fi, right? Like, it's not a documentary.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened a long, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but to our knowledge, it is fictional.
He knows it's not a 100% accurate historical account. He's read the books. And yet he still gave me the movie first.
It's the fun one. I just remember my dad, it's kind of like when you meet a new significant other and, like, all of the conversations are, what, you haven't seen that?
Yeah.
That's how it was with my father. Like, he'd be watching, like, Empire Strikes Back, which was the first Star Wars movie I ever seen, by the way.
Whoa.
Yeah. Part of my love for it.
I had a similar thing with that because my dad actually recorded them off rented VHS tapes.
Which is illegal.
And he also labeled them wrong.
So you were watching episode 4, but
yeah,
it was actually
I watched
5.
episode 5 as the final act.
That's kind of cool. That's a cool way to watch it.
Yeah, but it makes absolutely no sense.
So you saw Return of the Jedi before you saw Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see New Hope first, though?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Once.
Did you?
Because for some reason my mother just lost that VHS tape in the aether.
When I was little, I didn't like Star Wars as much as a lot of people, and I felt really weird about it because, you guys all love Star Wars, and you play with the Star Wars Legos. I didn't like them because I didn't like Phantom Menace.
Oh.
I thought I was like, even as a kid, I was like, I didn't enjoy it. It's not, I I didn't have the critical mind. I wasn't like, oh, this is a terrible movie because those characters are dumb. They have no chemistry. It was just not fun to me. I liked the lightsaber battles. Those were neat. But as a whole, I was just bored. There's a lot of stuff about trade federations and galactic laws, and I was just like, okay, whatever. And my dad was like, that's not Star Wars. I was like, yes, it is. I watched it. He's like, no. And then, he dropped it. And then, like, years later, literal years, he showed me, he was like, you sit down, we're going to watch Empire Strikes Back. And I was like, what? Like, what is it? He's like, it's Star Wars. I was like The Phantom Menace? He's like, no, sit down. And then we watched Empire Strikes Back. I'm like, this is awesome. Without ever seeing New Hope, only seeing Phantom Menace, I'm like, this is sweet. And then my dad going, yeah, that's Darth Vader. That was Anakin. I was like, what the fuck?
What? He dropped the bomb on you?
Well, but after like the twist, you know. But I mean, but like I still didn't. I understood that he was Luke's father, but I didn't know who Luke was.
Yeah,
other than the fact that he died and had to go into a tauntaun.
I thought they smelled bad
on the outside.
On the outside.
Make sure you don't drag any sand in. You're never gonna get out of here.
Oh God.
So Empire Strikes Back was my first one, and I really got into it from then on there. That's when I became a Star Wars fan.
Right, but you see, like with the prequels and everything, I loved Phantom Menace because I was at that age, and either that or I was just dumb.
Well, no, you're not dumb. It's got fancy lights, and if you don't have anything to compare it to, the reason why. And I stand by that they're not good films, first two. I like 3. I think 3 really improved, but I still don't think they're very good films on their own. But when you especially compare it to the original 3, because not only are they the precursors to what sci-fi really became about, is, the hero's journey, and they took fantasy and made it sci-fi, because it was essentially, the sword-wielding hero overcoming evil.
Yeah, it was this weird fusion of mystic and futuristic.
Exactly, and they hadn't really done that before. So not only are they great films, but they're also the precursors to what we have now. So it's got these two great legacies about it, and then you shoehorn these other movies in that aren't that good, not only for the genre but also for the series.
Yeah,
they're going to be twice as bad.
And then George likes to think that it was all about the spectacle, not the story.
And he's been quoted several times. He's like, "Look, like part of this movie was bigger than me, so people can hate it, but I did some wonderful things," and he did. He made special effects cheaper. The CGI was actually done for a pretty low budget. He's on record saying that it was pretty cheap.
Yeah.
So in he would constantly say it's like it's more than about us. Like other movies are going to use these effects and use what I'm building here today, which is neat. Luke,
but also George, to quote yourself, it's bigger than you.
Right. And you should
don't
realize
need to change it every friggin' 5 years.
Don't fuck with it. I'd love if he went back and remastered the Phantom Menace.
Oh, yeah. That'd be a welcome change.
Go fuck with those ones.
Yeah, go play around. Have fun.
But
New
LucasArts has always been about, doing different things or not LucasArts, but industrial. Well, yeah, but Industrial Lights and Magic has always been about revolutionizing effects in movies, from all the Steven Spielberg movies and Indiana Jones.
Not to mention he sold Disney Pixar.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. So, like, he is right. The Phantom Menace and those movies did do a lot for what we see as Star Wars. They introduced better lightsaber battles. They introduced way better blaster effects. They introduced doing good CGI without making it look like crappy CGI, which cannot be said for the stuff he shoehorned into Episode 4.
Yeah.
Like, of when they go to the bar, that kind of thing. So, like, he did do some positive things with those, but he also gave us Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, it's such a love-hate relationship with good old George.
Yeah, but it's his world and he can do what he wants with it. It's like how I whenever I'm writing stories and I have you read them and you're always like, this character is kind of boring, and I was like, I know, right? And you're like, but like, don't you want to do something with it? I'm like, nah, that's the character. That's who he is. Like, I'm not going to change him. That's what happened to that guy.
Yeah.
In the world that I came up with my head, I can play the game because I created it. I'm the god of that universe essentially. But there's a certain point where you want to be true to this tale you want to tell, and George wanted to tell a bad story. So
sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
Exactly. Sometimes you got to race. Pod race.
Oh.
See what I did there? I tied it all together because we talked about pod racing first.
It was like a reference or something.
So I know we've been a little bit up and down with this episode, and it hasn't been the best one, but we're going to close out on a high note and talk about a really depressing movie called Crimson Peak.
See, like, this is a movie that I want to see, mainly just because, like, past England, like Victorian,
all the Victorian stuff.
Oh, it's like more gothic.
It is more gothic.
Yeah.
It's not Victorian,
but I know
still,
what you mean.
Yeah. You're a fan of that, and you like steampunk and stuff.
Not to mention the Hiddleston guy. I feel like he's a big player.
Are you a fan of classic gothic romances? Because this isn't. A lot of people are billing this as a horror movie, and that's wrong. It's a gothic romance. It definitely has scary parts throughout it, but it's a gothic romance. It's about the strange connection between these characters and how it's supposed to be romantic, and how not only are they fighting the supernatural forces, but really they're fighting what is going to happen to them as a couple.
And I was actually reading an article about it that made me interested in it. It was how it was sort of more akin to like the old filmmaking.
Yeah, definitely.
Of how it's more about the journey and not that like one reveal scene at the end.
Exactly. It's not about the twist. It's pre-Shyamalan. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I love Guillermo del Toro. I don't love his English-speaking movies as much. Like I wasn't a big fan of Pacific Rim, but Pan's Labyrinth. Genius movie. I do love Blade, so those movies were awesome. So a little bit of contradiction there, but I don't mind being a hypocrite when it comes to him. The movie looks good. I am a little bit weary about how stiff everybody seems, and I know that's what they're going for. They're going for that classic gothic romance feel, which is partly soap opera. Like if you go back a little bit to something like Darkness Falls, not Darkness Falls. I'm sorry, the one with Johnny Depp. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It was. The vampire thing. Right?
The vampire thing. That was based off a soap opera that was on in the 70s. And it was about a vampire, so it was supernatural, but really it was a gothic romance.
Yeah, it's like how you like just taking a normal genre and putting it in the fantasy era.
Exactly. It is that kind of thing. So I'm excited to see it. I don't necessarily know if it's going to be good. I have high hopes. I wouldn't say it's for everybody, and since they're billing it as a horror movie, other than the shock scenes where you see this like really, really jarring CGI and horrific scenes next to really practical effects, and like it was built like in a castle and stuff, and like some of that stuff is real. I feel like it's going to rub people the wrong way. So it's going to be a divisive film, definitely. I can already tell I'm going to like it because it's going to be one of those movies where people or love to hate on it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, Guillermo del Toro strikes again. It's like, no, you got to appreciate it for what it is. So part of it's going to be the genre confusion that's going to be the ruin of this movie. And also, they're not advertising it all that well. I haven't seen it everywhere. I've been seeing it a lot on the internet.
Yeah, mostly internet ads is what I've seen.
Which might be the right crowd, you know what I mean? Often people...
We are a weird bunch.
Exactly, and often people who troll the internet will look up that genre and realize what Guillermo is going for. They'll listen to his interviews and hear that it's more of a gothic romance.
That's the glory of the internet. You can learn about new and different things.
I always... people at my office always, they talk about, I just don't know how to use that, or I don't know how that one works. It's like, how? You have the internet at your fingertips. There's no excuse to not know anything anymore.
You're like Batman. Enough preparation, you can do anything.
You can do anything. Exactly. You get my point. And I know I lied earlier. I said we were going to close on Crimson Peak, but I have one more thing I wanted to talk to you about, and that's internet subscriptions.
Ah, yes.
Earlier in the podcast, we used to talk about Loot Crate. Now, we don't subscribe to Loot Crate as much these days. It's money that we don't need to spend,
Yeah, we want to spend, but...
Yeah, it's a recession, but there are some cool things for it. You have several different of those subscription boxes that come with toys and merch and swag, if you will. and that's really neat. You can get one for anything you're into, but it's not the only thing. You also have things like Birchbox, which has healthy snacks. You have things like Blue Apron, which will send all of the things you need to prepare a meal. And show you how to. Dollar Shave Club. You're part of the Dollar Shave Club, right?
Yes, I am, and I am a satisfied customer.
Exactly. I'm part of the Beard Club. It sends you like the shampoos and the oils for your beard.
I will admit that the only thing that bothers me about it is their blades are sharper than I expected.
Are you cutting yourself lately? Yeah. I can see. Yeah, you do have a little bit one on your lip. Yeah. You got to be careful. It's like using a razor, like an actual razor.
Yeah,
like
it's like an actual friggin' blade.
Yeah. So you got to be careful with it. Do you think this is the way that we're going to start consuming most products? Do you think this is the way to go? Because even Amazon, if you want to sign up for their Amazon pantry boxes, or if you want to buy really good deals on toilet paper, you have to sign up for a subscription.
Really?
Yeah. Like a lot of those deals that I get on toilet paper is because I get them sent every month. So you can get like 50 rolls for $15, stuff like that.
I mean, that's just stocking up for the zombie apocalypse.
Exactly. Because that's what you need in the zombie apocalypse is toilet paper. That's what they don't show.
Yeah.
You have people scrounging around for water and for canned goods, but no one ever talks about where you're pooping. Actually, you know what? In the road, a couple people piss. No one ever takes a poop.
You see, that's not right. That's inhuman.
That's 300 pages of two men who are eating whatever they find on the ground.
And not shitting.
And no one shits. Actually, I think at one point when, spoilers, somebody in the book gets sick.
You see,
he starts shitting on himself.
I think the twist is they're all dead.
Oh!
Because they can't poop.
It's like The Sixth Sense. Or Lost.
Lost in poop.
So, but do you think that you think that's the way we're going to start using all these things? Do you think it's going to put businesses out of business?
I can see the possibility, but as we are right now, I don't think it would happen anytime soon.
No. Do you like them? Do you like that a lot of products have gone this way?
Well, I mean, I haven't really tried a whole lot other than the blades for shaving, but
right.
But I could definitely see why I would want food delivered to my house.
Yeah, those kind of subscriptions.
Yeah. I hate people and I like food. So
money-wise, it's usually a little bit more boutique because, I mean, while they are cheap, that adds up quickly.
Yeah.
You're spending $20 a month on these meals or whatever, that adds up.
It just sort of gets away from you. You're buying 3 loot crates a day.
Exactly. You're signed up for 10 different one of those subscriptions that adds up. I like it because I don't like to leave my house.
Yeah,
so those are neat. Like Dollar Shave Club, if I shaved, it would be neat.
I actually recently found out that our door's open.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's that like?
Went outside for a second and then got cold.
Hissed at the sun and came back in like a vampire.
Forgot that we had coats too.
So, I mean, I'm excited to see what other kind of subscriptions come out. Like, can I get Mountain Dew sent to my door once a month? Like, I want it 12 pack.
We would lose so much money.
Oh, we really would. I want to see what else comes out because
Mountain Dew. If you could sponsor us and send Mountain Dew to us, that'd be great.
I think any audience that Pepsi is trying to reach that isn't already in their grasp isn't going to be listening to this podcast. But speaking of like sponsorships and stuff like that, Loot Crate, Birchbox, Dollar Shave Club, all those things are what's that? The Harry's is another one.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah. All those are primarily podcast sponsors. You don't see a lot of commercials from them. You see some Dollar Shave stuff now. They're expanding into that. But a lot of that stuff originated with YouTubers and with podcasters. So it is a prime audience. And we're the people who live on the internet, essentially. So we're the ones to aim at.
I also don't think their advertising is necessarily doing it right because I found that as soon as I actually did subscribe to Dollar Shave Club, there were tons of ads for Dollar Shave Club on my Facebook.
So before you saw the ads, you were already interested in it, essentially, from like word of mouth and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then you saw the ads.
I was like, cheap way to shave? That could be for me.
You might be the outlier. Like I said, a lot of that stuff started on podcasts.
Yeah.
So they're
literally
just now
word of mouth.
Yeah. So I never really thought about that. So they are starting to spread wider. I'm excited to see a commercial for Loot Crate. Like on the NFL, you just
oh my god,
you're
Super
watching
Bowl.
Oh my god. Speaking of that, I just realized that Disney owns ESPN.
What?
Yeah.
When did that happen?
I don't know.
Please let them put the Mickey Mouse ears on there. It'd make me happy.
I'd probably watch more because it was being talked about a lot on Twitter because I was waiting to watch the Star Wars trailer and it premiered at halftime during the game, and
if they could just have Donald Duck and Goofy analyzing football plays, it'd make my day. I'd watch all football.
That is genius.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you do that?
See, what you want to do here is get a touchdown.
Well, gosh, Mickey, I didn't even think about that.
I wonder if Goofy would be more of the John Madden. I can't even do it. That's food for thought right there. If you pull anything from this,
those are the deep, hard-hitting points of this podcast.
This is the news that we cover. Multinational conglomerates that everybody already knows about but us. Rehashing random rumors that have been on the internet for weeks already. If you want more of this high and hard-hitting content, you can check us out on Twitter at Cave Trolls Cast. If you want us on Facebook, we're Cave Trolls Podcast. Or are we at Cave Trolls Cast on there as well?
Honestly, I'm not even sure if our Facebook is working.
No, it might not be. So don't care about the Facebook. Check it out if you want to. You can find me on Twitter at Resident Stevel. And Dave is at David Tulgetske.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Short and simple.
Yeah. Check us out anytime. We have new episodes live every single Wednesday. And keep watching. We're going to be launching a few other shows right in the feels. Going to be a show about nostalgia and stuff coming back into pop culture. We have our personal interviews where we get, one-on-one with somebody who generally doesn't matter. We call that one Persons of No Consequence. We have one up back a couple weeks ago with Richard Langen. He's going to be appearing on this podcast here soon. So, let us know what you think. Like, subscribe on iTunes. Add our feed to whatever podcast app you want. Give us a comment. Give us a review. If you hate us, if you love us, doesn't matter. Just let us know.
Just say hi.
Just say hi. Stop by. We'll make you dinner. We'll cook you something good. I got a slow cooker right now. There's a roast in it.
We did actually have some wonderful steaks this evening.
I think I did a pretty good job with those steaks, considering that we didn't barbecue. We should have, but I forgot to buy coals.
But you win some, you lose some.
Mostly I like to win some, but I guess everybody has to lose some once in a while. You got to know when to hold them.
Know when to fold them.
And know when to fold them.
you thought I wasn't going to get that, did you? I got the reference.
And damn it, all right. I guess we'll call that a day.